And remember, I'm not only president of the Hair Club for Men, I'm also the president. God, that's an obnoxious commercial. I tried to join the Hair Club for Men, but they wouldn't let me join. So, I started my own fringe group. Now, okay, you're all laughing, and I know why you're laughing, because you think I look too much like Gallagher. But you've got to realize that this is a very functional piece, because I can not only do Gallagher, I can do ZZ Top, I can do Don King, and I can do Tina Turner. See? Anyway, I wanted to bring this up to you because I wanted to discuss obnoxious commercials on television. Like the Thigh Master. What does Suzanne Summers really have when she's sitting there going, if the Thigh Master was that good, it would be sold to adults only, under the counter. I think she's got Benoit balls going as well. And how about Kathy Rigby? You remember Kathy Rigby? She used to be an Olympic gymnast who did tampon commercials. I don't know about you, but I really felt that doing a split on the balance beam sort of drove the point home a little too vividly for my taste. But thank God that contract's up. Imagine if she was still doing tampon commercials. She's touring the States now in Peter Pan. Can't you see that commercial? When I'm suspended over the audience by wires, I can't afford to worry about messy leaks. That's why I use Tsunami, the high-tech tampon from Japan. I'm really amazed that they haven't started using Mike Tyson in the Pepsi commercials. I mean, it's perfect. Can't you see him there looking at the camera with the judge and jury behind him going, I gotta have it. And they're all going, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, so it's not politically correct. I still think it's a good idea. And how come they won't advertise condoms on TV? Because they're a birth control device. But they will advertise things like the sponge and the female and the vaginal suppositories. And these things say things like spermicide, you know, which spermicide is a terrible concept to me anyway. I think it sounds like something a depressed spermatozoa would do anyway. I can just see this little sperm down there going, oh, everybody's into safe sex and he's using rubbers and I'm never going to find that perfect egg that's just for me, so I might as well end it all. I'm so depressed. Dear testicles, by the time you read this, I will be gone. And then commercials just are really bad. How about this Led Zeppelin commercial? Yeah, 2 CDs, available for a limited time only. Who are they trying to kid? That thing's been available for over a year. Somebody at Time Life really committed a major faux pas when they ordered those, and they've been trying to unload them on us for a long time. I like record offers, though. Record offers can be fun, especially late night television. 2 of my favorites are. Yes, and now available for the first time ever, great S&M hits. You get Whip It, Beat It, My Baby's Got Me Locked Up in Chains, It Hurts So Bad, and I Get a Kick Out of You. And if you order right now, we'll send you absolutely free a polyvinyl chloride can of 9 tails to whip you and a loved one into a frenzy while listening to great death hits, great S&M hits. So you don't forget, order before midnight tonight. Or how about great death hits of the 60s? It includes Tell Laura I Love Her, The Leader of the Pack, Last Kiss, Where Oh Where, no, that's Last Kiss, and Dead Man's Curve. So you don't forget, order before midnight tonight. That's $12.99 for tapes, $16.99 for CDs. And if you order now, we'll send you absolutely free a black crepe armband to wear while listening to great death hits of the 60s. Remember, they would have wanted it that way. I think one of the most obnoxious commercials on television, for my taste, basically any commercial, was Sally Struthers. Hi, do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. And when you make more money, you can send it to the starving orphans down in Africa. God, her voice gets on my nerves. I'd really like to see the commercial. Hi, would you like me to stop whining on TV? Help me get a real job. Send $29.95 to Get Sally a Job, care of this station. That would be a relief. There are commercials I would really like to see. I wrote a commercial once that never got on the air, but I thought it was pretty good. It was a takeoff. You've seen the original commercial. Why, honey? Now, we'll go through mine. Why, honey, you made pork chops. Yes, I know it's your favorite. Oh, but all those greasy dishes. Oh, I found something. I don't worry about grease anymore. Oh, really? What is it? It's New Dawn. Why, how does it work? I'll show you. Oh, Dawn! Yes, ma'am. You get out in that kitchen and you clean those dirty dishes. See, it's not politically correct, but again, I think it's funny. How about gay commercials? I mean, you see actors on TV, you know they're gay. Wouldn't it be nice to see commercials that actually sort of court the gay audience? I could start out subtly enough, maybe like the Irish Spring commercial. Ah, manly fresh fragrance. Manly, yes, but I like it too. Or how about, when you get more into it, a commercial for a well-known shortening. I was so embarrassed, not only for myself, but my lover. It was our turn to host a weekly orgy. In order to save money, I bought a cheaper shortening. It wasn't all vegetable like Crisco, and our guests could tell. Some of the commercials on TV are almost intimidating. I find them frightening, like the windshield wipers. What do they mean? These are the last windshield wipers you'll ever buy. What do they do? Send people out, and if it looks like you're going to buy new windshield wipers, they kill you? That's a frightening concept, but that's marketing to its nth degree. I don't have to worry about it personally because I ride a motorcycle. I hate to drive a car. A car just does not handle like a motorcycle. You can't weave in and out of traffic. And on the rare occasions, I'm very bad at driving a car. On the rare occasions that I've had to drive a car, Orientals get out of my way. It's true. And I want to know who names things. Who's in charge of that? Is there a little company, a little think tank? Is it one person locked up somewhere? Who named the cellular phone? That's a stupid concept. It sounds like two amoebas talking, doesn't it? Hey, let's get together someday and engulf something. Okay. Or disposable douche. Now, I don't know about you, but I was worried about who is the type of person that would keep it and where were they storing it. Talk about toxic waste. And who's the son of a bitch that came up with the phrase, one size fits all? I want to find that sucker and kill him. Or directions on shampoo, wet hair, lather, rinse, repeat. It never tells you to stop. You could spend the whole day there, lathering, rinsing, repeating, lathering, rinsing, repeating. Well, I hope that I'm trying to be funny, but it's difficult. I'm afraid that I got some rather upsetting news. Mary is dead. And Mary, as you may, I don't know if you read the papers, but Mary is dead, and Mary has been basically a staple of the gay community for over 30 years, lending her name to such phrases as, who the hell do you think you are, Mary? Oh, get over it, Mary. And get off my dress or I'll rip your face off, Mary. The news has stunned not only myself, but much of the gay community, leaving half of them totally speechless, and the other half unable to complete a sentence. Mary is survived by her longtime companion of almost 20 years, Louise. And at a time like this, what can we really say but goodbye, Mary, and please, Louise. Depression is different from despair. You're probably aware of this. Depression is sort of the lesser degree. I think the best definition I've ever heard is the difference between depression and despair is depression is the first time you can't do it once. Depression is the first time you can't do it twice. Despair is the second time you can't do it once. Depression can come in, various forms. It's brought on by different things, such as, the hot man at the bar that you've been cruising for 2 hours, you finally get up enough nerve to go over and talk to him, and he sounds like Pee Wee Herman. Worse yet, he acts like Pee Wee Herman. Or, in a moment of passion, you unscrew the top from that metal cylinder, place it into your nose, take a deep breath, and realize that you'll never have to worry about chapped lips in that nostril. In my case, depression is brought on by things like making a fool of myself, which is something that I do in public frequently, but in private I like to try to maintain some sort of decorum. The other day I got a package in the mail, a little envelope, and it said, "This could prevent accidents. If you're not wearing one of these, you're ready to have an accident." I thought, great, a safety device, just what I need. I got it out, I looked at it, I got it ready, I applied it. I thought it was for riding the motorcycle in place of a helmet. Later I read the instructions. I wore it for 2 weeks. Then I found out it's a panty shield. Sad but true. I was reading a pamphlet the other day from the National Institute on Mental Health. It listed the 12 warning signs of depression. The only one I didn't have was a loss of appetite. As you may have guessed, food and sex are the two motivating factors in my life, and it's probably obvious which one I'm getting more of. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I have never had a pizza refuse to go home with me. They are always hot, they always deliver, and best of all, you never have to worry what to do with them, how to get rid of them when you're done, how to get them out of the apartment when you're done. I do love to eat. Also, I love to cook, which is lucky because I have bad luck with lovers and cooking. I had a lover whose idea of cooking was peanut butter and jelly on toast. For special occasions and formal dinners, he could whip up Kraft macaroni and cheese and throw in a can of tuna fish, but that was about it. And then I had a boyfriend who one night sacrificed a chicken in my honor for my birthday. He said, "It's okay to tell your birthday wish." My birthday wish was that he would never cook for me again. I was lucky. Does anybody work out here? I exercise religiously. Well, okay, praying for my barrel chest to roll back uphill is not exactly working out. But I figure if God wanted me to touch my toes, he would have put them in a much more convenient location. Like my shoulders, someplace I could reach easily. Welcome to the Bear Expo. I've been on long enough, I guess I can say that. Well, I don't know, can I say that? Is it okay to call it the Bear Expo? What do the lawyers say? Maybe the Ursine Expo would, keep trouble down, or the large, hairy, bulky men Expo, or the hot, sleazy sex Expo. There was a magazine in town that used the byline for a while, Naked, Hairy, Homo Smut. They don't use it anymore, which is a shame because I really liked it. I thought it was very retro. It sort of slipped off the tongue. It was very retro, very 60s. Naked, hairy, homo smut, naked, hairy, smut. Naked, hairy, homo smut, naked, hairy, smut. I like the beat. I'll give it a 65. It's fun to dance to. Is there anything after that? Have you been to the Eagle yet? Oh, God, isn't the Eagle wonderful? Oh, so vogue on the outside, so vague on the inside. I don't understand people in leather sometimes. I had a boyfriend. I dated someone who wore leather, but couldn't ride the motorcycle when he wore the leather because he might get grease on his chaps. So he'd go out and he'd unzip his chaps to the knees and he'd get in his car and he'd drive to the Eagle. Then he'd park his car and he'd get out of the car and he'd zip his chaps back down because he didn't want the knees to pucker. I tried to point out to him that cows live their entire life standing, running, lying down in the mud in leather. And did he really think they all, if a rainstorm came up, they'll, "Oh, come on, guys, let's get into the barn. We don't want to get our leather wet." Leather people are so strange. Now, I used to work in a leather bar. And when I worked in a leather bar, it meant something. Well, actually, it meant two things. Usually opera and cooking, but at least it meant something. And I realized that there's an attraction. As far as opera goes, many times it lasts too long, you don't understand what's going on, there's a lot of screaming and yelling, and when it ends, everybody's unhappy. Sounds like more than one sexual encounter I've had. And as far as cooking goes, have you read a cookbook? I mean, they're very sensual. Pound until soft, beat until firm, whip until stiff. God, I think he just came. I've had a concept for a cooking show, the S&M Chef. And today on the S&M Chef, we'll be preparing the ultimate S&M dinner. Pounded veal steak, hot wax beans, whipped potatoes, and for dessert, something flambé. Where's I've lost my place here, and I'm trying to figure out what this is that comes next. So here you are in San Francisco on President's Weekend. I don't know about you, but I think I'd be a little bit pissed if they took my birthday away and they combined it with some other jokers and then moved it on a day that wasn't either one of our birthdays, just so that there could be a Monday holiday. And actually less that there could be a Monday holiday and more that there could be 3-day sales. Have you noticed that the only holiday they really haven't commercialized yet is Martin Luther King Day? And I figure they've been trying, they just can't quite come up with what would be an appropriate thing to sell. Somehow sheets or a white sale doesn't seem appropriate, but I'm sure they will come up with something. But it is good to have a 3-day weekend. It's nice to relax, and I've had a real rough year, very stressful, and I really need this time to relax. I did wind up, I had to start seeing a therapist for a while. My therapist said that I was hostile and that I was in denial and I was very hostile. I said, I am not, and if you say that again, I'll kill you. He wanted me to start working on my negotiating skills, and I've always felt that I've had good negotiating skills, but I did some of his exercises. I had a chance to put it to a test. I went to a concert, and there were people behind me talking and carrying on. In the old days, I would have just turned around and said, shut up. I did finally turn around and I said, excuse me, I paid to see this concert, and I would really like to listen to the music, so why don't we work out a little deal? If you're quiet and don't talk during the singing, if you promise to be quiet during the singing, I promise I won't break your legs. And it worked like a charm. There is really something for this negotiating skills, I'll say. Part of therapy has led me to the discovery of 12-step programs. Now, I'll admit I was very skeptical of 12-step programs because I grew up Catholic. Believe me, between Catholic school and our own 12-step program, the Stations of the Cross, I was very skeptical. But I started looking into them, and there are a lot of them. I mean, there seems to be a 12-step program for everything. And in fact, I figure that if all the groups got together, they could buy their own television station. You know, I can see it now. You're watching Channel 12, the Recovery Channel. Stay tuned for Shopaholics Anonymous. Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm a shopaholic. Hi, Mike. Hi, thank you. It started out innocently enough. I mean, I would just go to Rexall for the 1-cent sales. And then I started clipping coupons so I'd have an excuse to go shopping. Oh boy, tampons and anchovy paste is on sale. I gotta go to the store. And then Woolworths for dollar days. I knew I was in trouble when I started calling in sick to work on Thursdays. I didn't want to take a chance on missing White Flower Day at Macy's. Setting my clock for 13-hour days at Emporium Capwell. My real downfall was the shopping channel. But I am getting better. Last week I took all 27 of my snack masters to the meeting, and they put me in charge of refreshments. Now my life has meaning. Thank you. That what seems to be a lot of what ties in a lot of these things is guilt. I do suffer a lot of guilt. In fact, I probably suffer enough guilt to start my own religion. And I realize that probably religion is largely, the difference in religions is the difference in the way you handle your guilt, or how your guilt is presented to you. Like for the Jews, oh, you got a D in math, this will kill your father. That's a very personal type of guilt, very internal, very close to the family. And then with the Christians, there's this, oh, you're leaving food on your plate and there are children starving in Europe. Boing, global guilt. They are both very insidious in their own ways. I do suffer a lot of guilt. I used to feel very guilty because I felt that I had failed my family, that I had disappointed my parents. Then one day it dawned on me, this is not new. Every child disappoints their parents at some point. Somehow I am sure that Adam and Eve were less than thrilled when Cain slew Abel. I can see that dinner conversation. I bet it was a little bit heavier than, Cain, your father wants to see you in the den after dinner. And then can you see, God himself, when Jesus gets up to heaven, going, Jesus Christ, what is it with you, son? I send you down there to get an education. You start correcting and showing off and arguing with the teachers. You let your hair grow long, start wearing sandals, get involved with protests, get arrested, start your own religion. This was not what I sent you there for. Speaking of Jesus, there are, I'm sure you have noticed that various religions will twist the Bible and parts of the Bible around to suit their own needs. I will admit that even we have done it. There are people who are trying to twist the Bible around to try to prove that Jesus was a homosexual. They point out such things as, well, Jesus never married. He had a close relationship with his mother, a distant one with his father. He spent all his time in the company of men, and that John was called the beloved apostle. Well, I've studied the Bible very carefully. I think I found a section that proves that Jesus was a heterosexual. Only a straight man would go out in a boat with 12 good-looking bearded men and walk home as soon as it starts getting rough. That is such a straight macho bullshit thing to do. Oh, Lord. I'm waiting for Sally or Jesse or Phil to get a hold of that one, I can see all of the theologians coming at me then. But actually, I'm very grateful to Sally and Phil and Jesse because, think about it, due to their talk shows, they have relieved a lot of stress in my life. Remember in the 60s, those of you who are old enough, remember in the 60s when we blamed our parents for everything? Oh my God, the world's a mess, it's all our parents' fault. And then came the 70s and the 80s. We had to take responsibility for our own actions. And now, thanks to Sally and Jesse and Phil, all of us discovered that we all came from dysfunctional families, we all had unhappy childhoods, and it's okay to blame our parents again. It's a great relief to me. Actually, I think it's about time we put the fun back in dysfunctional. I think Tom Robbins said it best when he said, it's in Still Life with Woodpecker, when he said, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. And God knows I'm trying. I have gotten in touch with my inner child and I let him out to play. He beat up my best friend's inner child. I think I have the only inner child headed for juvenile hall. But hey, I guess that's why they call it recovery. I would like to take a moment to apologize. The state of the world and young people today, I'm responsible and I am sorry. When they told me that if I took drugs in the 60s it would cause flashbacks, I thought I would have flashbacks. I didn't realize a whole generation out there would be wearing weird clothes and peace symbols and love beads and tie-dye. And listening to that sort of music. I mean, well, they blame drug abuse, and drug abuse is a concept I really don't understand. I mean, I have never abused drugs in my life. I learned very early that if you take good care of your drugs will take good care of you. And it's teaching children to be rude. I mean, all of this, just say no. Just say no. Whatever happened to please and thank you? It got me through a lot. And now, of course, you're turning family members, turning your parents, turning your friends for smoking drugs, for using drugs. And so remember, kiddies, to get your free Junior G-Man kits and 3 box tops from Chocolate Crunchy Narcs and the names of 3 suspicious relatives to this station. It's interesting because things keep moving in a cycle. You know, I realize I've lived long enough that bitchin' and groovy are popular again. I am afraid I'm going to live long enough to see tubular and gnarly come back. But it goes to show you should never throw anything away. 400 years ago, Peter Paul Rubens was painting pictures of large, hairy, humpy men. It took 400 years, but this body has come back in style. I'm glad I didn't get rid of it. But it's very accelerated now. I mean, do you realize we had like 15 years to get from Jefferson Airplane to Donna Summers? And now it's like happening, you know, Jefferson Airplane's popular one day, Donna Summers, you know, making a comeback. Disco is coming back, and you thought it was dead. We all hoped it was dead. Actually, I'm rather glad, because it gives me a chance to try to sell my pilot again for a TV series called Disco Emergency Room. Every week we would have a different guest star. Well, first of all, it would open with the swinging doors to the ER, flying open, the gurney comes through, there's the nurse up there doing CPR. Keep my life, Anyway, we'd have a special guest star every week with a special guest disease. The guest star would always die because we have to pay them more if they live or they go through the whole show. And so at the end of the show, it would show them calling the code, covering the patient up with the blanket, and the doors slowly closing, and you hear the closing theme. Another one bites the dust, Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust, Another one bites the dust. Realizing that I am over 40 now, I have come to the conclusion that I am middle-aged, or actually probably past middle-aged. I reached this conclusion by counting among my friends how many 86-year-old faggots I know. There weren't any. But middle age is a very subjective sort of idea. I mean, if you're going to be killed in a car accident at 20, you're middle-aged at 10. And you have every right to have a midlife crisis at 10. So, just to be on the safe side, I have a midlife crisis every year. My 40th birthday was a real strange experience because, I mean, first of all, it was raining cats and dogs. Got a phone call that a friend's father had died, so that sort of depressed me. The friend who was going to take me to brunch locked his keys in his car, so by the time we got the keys out, we never got to brunch. So we did finally get to the movie, and it was the opening day of Driving Miss Daisy, which is a wonderful movie. However, when you're turning 40 years old, going to watch a movie about a bitchy, disagreeable old woman who just gets older and more bitchy and more disagreeable was not a good choice. One of the things I have discovered going with age is my eyesight starting to go. I mean, nothing really bad, but I find my eyes get fatigued when I'm reading, you know, and I have to hold the book a little bit further. And there are times it's a little, you know, oh yeah, baby, oh yeah, suck that big clock. A cock, suck that big cock. Then I came upon the philosophy that you should live every day like your last. And I thought that was a nice philosophy. So I tried it. I'd get up every morning. I'd make out a new will, figure out who was getting what, who I was cutting out because they pissed me off the last day. Then I planned my funeral. After about a week of that shit, I said to hell with it. I've just decided that when I die, I'm going to have my ashes spread on the Lone Star floor. That way, people can come by, they can step on me, spill a few drinks on me. I'll see people I know, and they can sweep me out at the end of the night, I see no reason for death to interfere with my usual Saturday night. The added bonus, of course, is that I will get to see my lover at least once or twice a day. Was anybody intimidated by the concept of the Bear Expo? I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but they were talking about having workshops and study groups and discussion panels, and that really intimidated me. I thought, what if I discover that I'm not really a bear? What if I'm a Castro clone? Or worse still, a cha-cha queen? That puts a lot of pressure on a person. Or maybe I discover that I haven't been doing the bear thing right. It's a scary concept. It was difficult to come here. Yes, could you please punctuate the sentence? Calvin Klein's obsession for men. Please, I wish somebody would. Personally, I am a nurse. And it's a job I like, but I really hate having to justify being a nurse. Because, yeah, it's other people don't go, oh, well, why did you become a lawyer? How did you become a name? You don't look like, yeah. It's real tiring. You don't look like a nurse. Oh, well, excuse me, I'll try to do better next time. Or, gee, how did you become a nurse? Well, see, I was kidnapped from the suburbs and raised by evil bikers, and they sent me to nursing school on a Hell's Angel scholarship, and now if any of them gets hurt, I have to take care of them. They sometimes believe that one, which explains to you the sort of people I meet in my line of work. The most difficult one is when people go, when did you decide to become a nurse? Or what made you decide to become a nurse? And that one's difficult because I have to explain about how when I was younger, my parents were in a car accident and were not only in the hospital for a long time, but were also at home convalescing for a while. And we had a nurse who came in every day, and I watched that woman work with my parents and work to get them better and treat them. And I guess it was back then that I realized that nursing was one of the few professions where you can get paid good money for causing people pain and suffering. I mean, with the exception of stand-up comedy. And usually the difference there is when I say, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, I'm referring to the stand-up comedy. It's true. No, it really is. I mean, believe me, I was once the only male comic with 12 women comics at a lesbian comedy club. You talk about torture. Oh, God. I used to be involved, can we talk about relationships for a few minutes? I used to be involved with a romantic, a true romantic. And there are 3 stages to being involved with a true romantic. And this is in the holy keeping of things, you know, like the Holy Trinity, the 3 major networks, the 3 Stooges, the 3 Faces of Eve. The first phase of being involved with a romantic is when the romantic says, I love you. And it's pretty easy to handle, you know, pretty straightforward. It's nice, gives you a warm feeling, you know. The second phase is, I love you more than anything. And of course, this is designed to make you feel loved and cherished. It also manages to make you feel just a little boxed in. And then of course there is the third stage of the romance with the true romantic, and that is when the object of your love turns to you and says, I love you more than you love me, you son of a bitch. Needless to say, that is the final phase, the third and final phase of a relationship with a true romantic. Over the years, I have learned to watch out for certain phrases when I'm dating people, when I'm thinking of getting involved. You know, there's the phrase, oh, I love you so much I'd just die without you. There's a perverse part of me that wants to go, can we put that to the test? Can we run a little experiment? If I walk out the door, will you just turn blue? And then there is the phrase, I'd do anything for you. Hey, now you're talking. How far are you willing to go? Oh, mail fraud, embezzlement, murder. I've got a little list. Yes, I've got a little list. And then there's one of my favorite phrases, the I love you just the way you are. Don't ever change. Hey, that sounds like good news to the perpetual adolescent that most of us are. However, what you don't know is that this is a two-parter. The second part of this always comes a little ways down the road, when you wake up in the middle of the night and there is your partner sitting there looking at you with those Village of the Damned eyes. What? I've grown and you haven't. This relationship isn't working. We have to talk. Nothing works at 4:45 in the morning. Go back to bed. The other way the scenario is played is, I know I said I didn't want you to change, but I thought if you really loved me, you'd want to change for me. I left the church 20 years and haven't spoken to my mother in 10. You want to try for third spot on this hit list? So I'm wary of relationship. How many of you are involved in relationships? Well, that sort of cuts down on my chances of getting laid this weekend. But anyway, if you're thinking of getting involved in a relationship, let me give you a little bit of advice. There are two very important words that you need to know. Now I know those of you in relationships are saying those two words are, I'm sorry. And don't get me wrong, those are two very important words and you will use them a lot. But those are not the two words I'm talking about. The two words I'm talking about are now and later. And think about it, all your life, these have been important words in your relationship. Mommy, can I have a cookie now? No, it'll spoil your appetite. Maybe later. Hey Dad, can I borrow the car now? Not right now, son, but why don't you go out and wash it and we'll talk about it later. So, you wind up in a relationship and there are little things like, honey, the cat box needs to be changed now. Honey, I'll get to it just a little while later. Dear, we need a few things from the store. We have to go shopping now. Let me just wait till the show's over and I'll go later. And the ever popular, I don't want to talk about it now. We'll discuss it later. And since all great relationships are based on now and later, that's all I have to say for now, and see you later. Oh shit, we're recording again. I must have hit the button. Hot again.